This is the Tuesday, June 9th, 2020 meeting of the Berlin Library Trustees. As a preliminary matter, please note that this meeting is being recorded and that some attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you. Take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. This is Charlene DeCalagero, Chair of the Library Trustees. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me prior to me calling the meeting to order. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Lynette Wheeler.
I'm here.
Jeannie Mitchell.
Here.
Staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Bob Hodge, Library Director.
Here.
Anticipated speakers on the agenda, please respond in the affirmative. Has Linda joined us?
Linda, unfortunately, I just got a message from her that she won't be able to join us tonight.
Okay, so she is not on the agenda. With a quorum of the trustees present, I call this meeting to order at 5:36 on Tuesday, June 9th. This open meeting of the Library Trustees is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. Specific information and the general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and/or parties with a right and/or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the Town of Berlin website at www.townofberlin.com. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely, provided reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. While no in-person attendance of members of the public is permitted, every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on the town's website an audio or video recording transcript or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. The standard public comment portion of this meeting will accommodate limited public comment. For this meeting, the library trustees are convening using the Zoom platform as posted on the agenda, identifying how the public may join. Meeting materials. The public is encouraged to follow along during this meeting using the posted agenda unless I note otherwise. Supporting materials that are available this evening to members of the library trustees can be made available to the public by request. Meeting business ground rules. We are now turning to the first item on the agenda. Before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. I will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, I will invite each board member by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called. Trustees and speakers on the agenda, please remember to mute your phone or computer when you are not speaking. Please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. For any response, please wait until I yield the floor to you and state your name before speaking. If members wish to engage in conversation with each other, please do so through me, taking care to identify yourself. To the extent that our technical capability allows, public comment will be permitted during the public comment portion of this meeting as follows. Attendees' phones and other devices will be muted unless and until they raise their hand, quote unquote, and are recognized by me to speak. I ask each member of the public who wishes to speak to identify their name, and I will afford each speaker time to ask a question or make a brief comment. Finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by roll call vote. Okay, let's proceed to the agenda. I believe we are approving the May 12th minutes. Does anybody have any comments or questions about the minutes? I think there was a little piece. Did somebody, what? I think there was a little piece about who was going to call whom, Lynette. So I think Jean was going to contact Bob Blair, and I was going to contact Judy Rothbard Tate. So I think that might have not made it into the minutes. Other than that,
Was that regarding the trustee position?
yes.
Okay.
Sorry, my printer isn't working, so I'm just opening the minutes on my computer so I can just put it there.
Okay.
I usually write right on the minutes so that I know where the correction goes. So I'm just gonna put it in real quick.
Yeah, it's pretty much at the end.
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
And Lynette, the
yep.
potential candidate was LY, which is Linda Yates.
Okay.
That's the only thing that I see.
Can you spell Judy's name for me?
Rothbard.
And it's hyphen?
No, no hyphen. Tate, T-A-T-E.
And what was the other one? Who else was reaching
Bob
out?
Blair. I think Jean was going to contact Bob Blair,
Right.
who is the chair of the Council on Aging.
Okay. All right.
Great. So not hearing any other additions or changes, Charlene DeCalagero, move to accept the May 12th, 2020 minutes as amended. Can someone second?
Second.
Lynette Wheeler seconds. All those in favor, Charlene DeCalagero says yes. Jean Mitchell,
Yes.
Lynette Wheeler.
Yep.
The minutes are approved as amended. Okay, director's report. Bob, over to you.
Okay. Well, we are taking steps to reopen for our curbside service. We had a department head meeting this morning, and after the main part of the meeting, we talked about the building reopenings and there's a document that that the town administrator, Margaret, is putting together and looking for input. So it's like a 9-page document on procedures. And so I have been, working with other local directors in Hudson and Bolton. I mentioned that I did have a meeting, a Zoom meeting with them last Friday. And so we're taking the steps. The staff, Karen has started to come in on a staggered basis to deal with the books that were in the book drop, the books that are on the hold shelf. There were some adjustments that needed to be made in CWMR's network to deal with things when we start to get returns. So we've ordered some plastic bins so that we can quarantine the books when they come back. They'll be quarantined for 72 hours, so we'll fill the bin and they can just sit. I guess the virus does not last any longer than that. So that's the procedure and protocol that libraries are following in this kind of phase 1 reopening plan. We're almost there. I think I mentioned last time that we were, or in my director report, that we were hoping to open this week, but that's not going to happen. So Um, I guess I can only say we'll open when things are in place. We still have to just write something up that's clear to the public, the procedure that we want them to follow to do like on a appointment basis to request and receive the materials curbside. Um, we're getting paper bags to put the materials in, and then we'll have other plastic bin that we will have outside for them to come and pick up during a scheduled time uh, for them to pick it up. So we've already done a little bit of curbside. Just we had to deal with the items that had been sitting on our hold shelf since March. So rather than just, we can't send them back at this point because the delivery service hasn't started up yet. We got a survey from the MLS asking, when will you be ready to have books delivered? Uh, so some of the people that had books on hold still wanted their item 3 months later. So we managed to deliver some of those, and the others will just go in the bin when we finally get delivery service again. Um, it's nice to be able to, you know, at least see some light that we'll be able to do something. I'm going to be talking with Sarah tomorrow about summer reading plans, which of course have been completely rearranged. And it's the same, we're all in the same boat. Libraries are kind of all over the map. When I talked with Hudson and Bolton, Hudson, they're 20,000 people town, so they're just opening their box for returns 1 day a week for now. And they're asking people to only return the Hudson material first. And then when their box is full, they just close it for the day because that's a lot of material to deal with. For us, we're hoping that we won't be overwhelmed. But at some point, we just have to open the thing and start taking it back and work with it. So, and then we're rearranging in the library. The circulation desk is a common desk where we all would take turns. We'd all be working there during the day. And so we're not going to be doing that. That desk will just be dedicated for Katie when she's here. And we'll be doing everything else from our own workstation. And then we'll stagger the staff schedule as much as possible. Right now, there's not a big need for people to actually be in here because we don't have, it's only to deal with the returns. The requests that we get. And we may get a lot in the beginning. What I heard from some other communities directors is that it was a lot in the beginning, but then it just kind of, settled down and it was very manageable once they had everything in place. So I'm hoping that will be the same here. And we're, trying to look at what other creative ways that libraries are dealing with this, things that they can do outside. Some libraries are even setting up laptops outside for people.
Okay.
I don't know if a lot of these are going to be practical for us, but we have to consider everything that we can do to serve the patrons. So that's what we've been doing. And I've been reading, the MBLC, of course, has guidelines, and they're kind of feeding from the governor's, phased reopening as well. Other things to talk about. I asked Pat Smith to spread the word about Linda Yates' candidacy. And so she sent that out to all of the friends. And hopefully all of the friends will contact others that they know. So we'll have a good turnout for the writing. That was something that Linda was a little concerned about. So she doesn't feel like at this point she really knows a lot of people in town. So whatever any of you can do to spread the word. She's all set. She talked to Eloise, so she's good to go. I've been trying to go over with her just some of the duties at the trustees. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here tonight. I did send her the agenda for tonight's meeting, so she can see some of the things that we've been discussing. It looks like next week is going to be the Board of Health meeting. Planning to be there. I guess it'll be another Zoom meeting, of course. And it's at 7:30, June 16th. Let's see. Tomorrow.
Bob,
Yes.
you sure it's 7:30 or 7?
I
Or
have
or is it
7:30.
where we end up on the agenda? I'm just asking because
Oh.
I thought it was 7.
Yeah. Yeah. 7:30.
7:30.
I had this thing in my mailbox from
Okay,
Evan. Yeah.
cool.
If for some reason that's wrong, I'll let you know. I'll check on that.
Okay.
Other things, state aid workshop tomorrow. I'll be on that from 10 to 12 tomorrow. It'll probably be longer than it normally is just because of the ramifications of everything that's going on. So,
Right.
and the Friends actually have something coming up, even though they haven't been able to meet. And they haven't done any Zoom meetings and probably won't, but I don't know if they may not be ready for technology. But anyway, their garden tour, which this time they're doing in conjunction with 19 Carter, is happening June 20th. There are some flyers, and there's a flyer that you can sign up for the tour. There's some at the Lowe's. Not sure where else they distributed them.
There's some here.
You got some? Okay, great. Oh, great. Okay. Yeah. Did Evie bring them up there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So,
Indian Head Farm.
Indian Head, yeah. So hopefully they'll get a good turnout. It's been one of the best fundraisers they've done in the past. And so we'll see how that goes. It's nice to have some communication with them again, because for 2 months, it was just random whenever I could see somebody. And unless you have questions, I think that's all I have.
I have a quick question. As far as what Margaret's asking for, does she want, I know I had to do it for my friend's business, an actual COVID plan, or just copies of what we're going to do for the public guidelines?
I think right.
This I have some COVID plans from the MBLC, the MLS, CWMARS, but this is from the town. So it's a lengthy document, and of course they all cover the same material. But this would be pertinent to the town buildings, and so she outlined each department, and so she had something written up for the library, and she wanted me to just go over that and give her input.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so it's like a work document in progress.
Perfect. Gotcha.
I will share that with you. I didn't have much chance to look at it today yet.
Oh, that's fine.
I noticed a few things that I wanted to change and mention. But we all, for us, I mean, we have the most contact with the public of any other department. So it's a little bit different. Each department, the highway department, of course, they don't see a lot of people coming in there. The town offices, they have a system kind of in place for that. So the police department's almost been operating the same as always because they have to, essentially.
Yeah.
And same with the fire.
Yep.
That was
Cool.
my question.
Okay, Lynette, did you have any questions or comments?
Nope. I'm good.
Okay. All right, so I, Charlene DeCalagero, move to accept the director's report as submitted. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Jean Mitchell seconds. All those in favor, Charlene DeCalagero, yes. Jean Mitchell,
Yes.
Lynette Wheeler.
Yep.
Okay, the director's report is accepted unanimously. Financial report. Bob.
Okay, again, this month, other than paying wages. And I only did one warrant. And while I'm mentioning warrants, Charlene signed some for me.
Okay.
But I wanted to arrange Lynette and Jean. I'm sorry I didn't get back to you in the interim, but I have the ones that Charlene signed. And perhaps we can arrange a time. I'll send you an email. Or
Yep.
if you guys could just let me know when is a good time for you. 'Cause
Okay.
I'll be here most of the day, or I can make arrangements to come over and leave. What I did with Charlene is I left them in the mailbox, the US mailbox, because I was leaving. And she signed them, and then I came back later and picked them up. So I think they'd be safe enough in there. There's nothing really that anyone would want. So I'd appreciate it if you just let me know when is a good time for you.
Yeah, you're gonna be down there Thursday and Friday?
Friday, not until later, because Friday, like my normal thing is we're closed, so I come in later, just
Yeah,
for a
I
little
just,
while. But on Thursday, well, tomorrow morning I have the meeting 10 to 12. I'll be free in the afternoon. I think Karen's going to be in here tomorrow afternoon. And then Thursday, I'll be here. I'll be here from 10:30 till 5:30 or something like that.
Yeah, if you return.
Except for, I may go out. So if you just let me know a time, or approximate time, and I'll just leave it in the U.S. mail thing if I have to leave.
Textbooks back to Toronto, so I can just swing by on my way.
Okay, great. And then as far as the financials, we paid the wages, we paid there were some of the regular bills, Spectrum, the water, bottled water. The only thing I had to request essential spending for was for the plastic bins that we bought. And we actually had to buy some more, which I will do on the next warrant. But it's a lot of paperwork to pay a bill now, unless it's something like a regular monthly bill. It's just another form that we have to do. And they like us to do it before we spend the money, but it's not always, possible. And it'd take 3 days to buy a couple of plastic bins. But anyway, so other than that, do you have any questions about the financials?
I have one, but I can wait. Does somebody else have a question?
No.
Okay. Yeah, so I looked, other than wages and salaries, there was no expense in May. I noticed that sometimes, I guess, Spectrum, you do 2 months at once instead of.
Yeah. Sometimes the billing just that's the way that I just pay it when I get it. So.
Okay. I'm just like, it's gonna come, right?
Yeah. I did talk to Margaret about that, because that was something that the town had always paid for. And
Right.
all of a sudden it's $65 a month. And for us, that's a lot. And we don't even need Spectrum. That's the sad thing, because now that we're on the CW Mars network and using their Wi-Fi, the only thing we need Spectrum for is for the phones, because they're voice over internet. So we used to pay $15 a month for a phone bill, and now we're paying $65 a month to have phone service. So it's just one of those crazy things.
Right.
But it's over $500. For the year, that's substantial.
Yeah.
So, and she was gonna, when she made the budget adjustments, which is another thing we went over at the department head meeting, and FinCom approved it. So I do have the town budget. I can also send that to you. And, she did assure me that we weren't cut disproportionate to other budgets. So hopefully everything is going to work out in terms of certification, and the financial aid report is later in the summer. And they're actually allowing the first half, the statistical report, to wait until October. So they'll both be required to be done by October. So I'll inform you more about that as we go along. And that's about it for financials unless you have other questions.
Okay, so, I mean, it sounds like you might do a little purchasing in June, which of course is the last month of the fiscal year. What is the number they're looking for, which, you know, is the maximum of what they want spent for 2020 for this current fiscal year? Did they give you a number?
They wanted only, ever since we closed back in March, we've been under a directive not to, we're under a budget freeze. So anything you're spending outside of something that is already committed to, say the Spectrum bill, to, you know, to keep the place going, you're supposed to get an essential spending form. So that's why I haven't been buying any materials. But the state aid certification is only going to go what you spent through March.
Right.
So so they have made some adjustments. I just hope it all works out in our favor. So I haven't started to dig into that yet, just because of so many other things going on, just trying to get back into business a little bit. Sorry, just trying to think of something that popped into my head and now I've forgotten what it was. Something about at the department head meeting this morning, you know, talking about budgets. Anyway, so next year's appropriation as well, it did get cut. The staff are only getting, they're not getting even the COLA raise. So they're flatlining it.
That I remember you had said last time.
Yeah, so that's stuck. I mean, I asked about that a few times, but when the final approved budget by the FinCom came, I didn't have much chance to look at it. She just sent it out this morning before the meeting. And that's where we were at. So.
Okay.
I'll mention one other thing in terms of the financials. I think I mentioned this last time, how we needed to do a monthly budget. So if by some, and we pray this doesn't happen, but it could happen that the budget doesn't get approved, the town budget at the town meeting, or for some reason the town meeting doesn't happen, or it has to be done by June 30th. If the budget's not approved by then, the town has to operate on a monthly budget. So I was asked to put together what our budget would be for the month of July, and then also potentially August and September. We don't think it's going to happen, but this had to be submitted by June, the town accountant and the select board, just in case. So it's a just in case thing, but I thought I should mention it.
Okay. So unless someone else has questions or comments, I, Charlene DeCalagero, move to approve the financial report as submitted. Lynette, can you second?
Yep.
Lynette Wheeler seconds. All in favor, I, Charlene DeCalagero, say yes. Jean Mitchell,
Yes.
Lynette Wheeler.
Yep.
The financial report is approved as submitted. Okay, back to the agenda. Old business, septic replacement progress and next steps. So the hearing is, as Bob mentioned, a week from today, next Tuesday, June 16th, 7:30. Zoom call. This is for the Plan for Presby Butterfly System. Who can attend? That's I know Bob said he was planning on it. Ah, great. So both Lynette and
So do we have to take minutes too?
that's a good question. Actually, yes. If there are two or more of us, we would have to declare a joint meeting. So it's up to you. I have a partial conflict, although I was kind of like, well, you know, the Board of Health is kind of the priority here.
In the same boat.
Uh-huh.
I have something that is supposed to be over by 7, so I
Mhm.
should be able to make it, but there's a slight chance I'll be late.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to anticipate any questions that we would have, they would have for us. But since we've met with them several times, I don't really see. I think, I don't know, I've never been to one of these, but since we've already talked about all of this prior, I'm thinking that shouldn't be. It shouldn't last too long. There shouldn't be much to it. But then again, I don't know. I'm trying to anticipate anything, but I just don't know.
Is it
But
just,
I will be there, and I'll do the best I can.
is it just for us, or is there other stuff the Board of Health is going to discuss?
Well, it's just the group that we're meeting. I don't know if Margaret will be there. She may be there, but it'll just be the Board of Health, which is Paul McKell and Neshoba person Bill Brookings, and then Evan Carloni, who submitted the plan, and then one of us or more. So I think that's it, unless, like I said, unless Margaret decides, because she has been at the other meeting, so she may be there.
Yeah, I'm looking at the agenda. It does say 7:30, Evan Carloni for the town of Berlin, variances. So it seems like it's all about the variances.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a list of 7 and regulations, Board of Health regulations,
Right.
and they go through each one. There's 7 of those. So I guess they would have maybe specific questions, but they're going to be directed to Evan,
Right.
regarding anything to do with what he's written up here. So,
Right. Right. And actually, I think there are only 4 variances listed on the agenda. I think there were some variances where they said it doesn't matter or something. I mean, I read the
okay,
document.
all right.
So, so Jean, are you sure you want to go? Because then it's kind of like, yes, I need to post that.
No, I won't go then. It's fine.
Okay. So I'm gonna pass this baton to Bob and Lynette. And yes, I mean, it at least on its face, it looks like a technical meeting. I think it's important that one of us be there.
Okay.
So yeah, if it looks like there's a problem, Lynette, you have our phone numbers.
Okay.
So, give us a call or drop a text as soon as you know you have a problem.
Yeah, no, it's just another Zoom meeting and it should be over in plenty of time.
Great. Okay. Cool. I'm trying to think if there's anything else related to that. What's the hearing date? Neshoba Valley Board of Health. Okay, so, yeah, just to mention, I posted the sketch or whatever it's called that Evan drew to show the plan on the property and all that stuff. I posted that. I think I got that, and we may have discussed it at the February meeting. So it's on as additional materials on the Library Trustees February meeting. Presumably, they're also posting a copy of that and any other related documents on the Board of Health site in case you want to look at that before the meeting. So yeah, related to that, Neshoba Valley Board of Health, the request for the deadline extension of construction completion. So basically the request for the deadline extension, Jean, have you made contact with Bill Brookings?
Yes, I got his emails back and we were gonna, it's the Board of Health and then from there, to DPH. So we need to get through all the variances and stuff. And once we know what's definitely going in, then we go from there. You should have gotten CC'd on everything that was sent to me. Because I remember putting everybody, but I forgot by accident Lynette, so I can forward her the email responses. But you and Bob should have been in there, because I know Bill responded, and I believe Evan. He was talking about some of the variances.
Oh, I don't know if I got that actually, but I'll double check. When was it sent? Do you remember?
I'm looking right now. Let's see. Uh, I know it was the beginning of, it was just before the last meeting.
Oh, okay.
I had sent it out that day and then they responded. Let me just zip back to
All right.
May.
That's fine, Gene. I'll go back and reread it.
Oh, yeah, Bill Brookings and Margaret replied on May 13th, 2020. It's let's see, the Board of Health grants the extension and would involve recording an enforceable agreement in the deed of the property.
I don't think I have that. I see something from you on the 12th and something from Margaret on the 12th.
Right, I
I don't
will
think I got
forward it
anything
to
else.
everybody right now, just.
Actually, I don't have it either.
Oh, okay, all right, I'm gonna
You
forward it
probably
to everybody
did.
right now.
They probably just replied to you versus doing reply all.
Yeah, I think so.
So I assume it was on their end versus.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I have a bunch of emails around that time regarding the abutters and notification and everything.
Yes, let me just get Bob's correct email.
And it's R Hodge, not B.
Yes,
Yeah,
got it.
okay.
Yeah, Lynette. Okay. I just sent it, so everybody should get it. If you don't, let me know. And it should say extension.
What I have is actually something about the budget from Mary.
Yeah, I saw that too. I just got it. I just got the extension of DEP deadline.
There we
Okay,
go.
great.
Okay. Sorry, I don't know how that happened. I'm having issues with this laptop.
So, let's go back. Oh, here we go. Okay, good. I have the forward now. Great. So that's perking along, it sounds like.
Yep.
Okay, then along kind of in parallel with that, just reminding people that we should still draft an article for special town meeting, which we don't even know when that's going to be yet, but probably sometime in the fall, to request to push the sunset provision. I know Margaret thinks that we can get it done in time, before June 30th, 2021. I say be prepared because stuff happens. So again, that's kind of a standing item. It basically, we should take the text of the original article that had the sunset clause and ask to extend it. I did notice, just you can look in the current warrant for town meeting this month, and you will see that there are people asking for extensions to sunset provisions.
Yeah.
So feel free to copy.
I just want to mention, Jean had a question from me via email about the well and the 25,000 we have in an article to replace the well.
Right.
And we're going to have to go through the articles that are outstanding this month or later this month when they're closing out the books for this year. We always get requests to say, are we going to, I mean, this isn't under a sunset clause. The sunset clause is actually a new thing for the town. But I think we're going to have to make a decision. We can try and justify keeping the money just in case. But, where the water is testing acceptable, I just don't know how we want to deal with that.
I have a thought about that, which is that I think aren't we supposed to get some paperwork from the DEP about that? Like that they're going to say it's okay. I think at that meeting to discuss the septic, they said things were looking good.
Right.
But I don't know if you got any official paperwork. I think we need official paperwork to say the well's good before we give it back.
Well, I don't know. I don't recall that being the case. I know that they send Whitewater, which does the testing, send the report to the DEP. And if there's anything that they see that's unacceptable, then we would get a notice. So I think that's their statement. I mean, it gets tested regularly, and if it's okay, it's okay. And if it's not, if there's bacteria or something, then that would have to be addressed.
I think that's true under normal circumstances. I'm thinking about the ACOP. Don't they close that at some point officially?
I think they already have, but I could be wrong.
I think we have to ask the select board because in theory they should get that paperwork.
Right.
Um,
I mean, it's just important to remember that the library's water wasn't being tested like it should have been. So that was neglected by the town. And it was one of the reasons, I mean, if it had been being tested regularly, we probably never would have asked for money to replace it in the first place. But anyway, that's just the way things worked.
So do you want me to contact the select board, Bob, and say, so is the ACOP closed, good, all
Yeah,
done?
I think that would be a good idea, yeah.
Okay.
Because it's been a while since we talked about that, so.
Okay, so email select board. Okay, good. Any other questions or comments on this item?
What are you're emailing the select board regarding well testing?
Regarding the, what does ACOP stand for?
That's a consent order.
It was the consent order, something consent order.
Administrative consent order.
Thank you, Mary. What's a P?
Peeve.
Not know. Yes. Something like that.
You could just say ACOP, right? So you're emailing the select board regarding ACOP?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an administrative consent order, yes.
Yes. Yes. So I will email and say, have you gotten an official sort of closing or whatever it is, sort of termination of the ACOP? I think that's probably.
Okay.
Email regarding termination of ACOP?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
Or whether it's final.
Right. Right.
Oh, yikes. It's a administrative consent order with penalty.
Right.
With penalty, yes.
Right. That's right. Right. Which is why we want it to go away.
Yeah.
All right. Good, good. So I will take that up. All right. Let's move right along here. So we kind of already talked about the FY20 budget. FY21 budget, we also talked about, unless you have anything further to say about that, I will move along.
No, not at this time, no.
Okay, so planning to reopen, Bob also talked about that. So the way I understand what you were saying is we don't know exactly when that's going to happen yet, right?
Right, that's right.
Okay.
So, but it'll be phase one. Everyone's referring to it in the library world as phase one because it's based on the governor's recommendations that the MBLC has, perfected for libraries.
Okay.
So everyone is doing some sort of curbside to get going again. But as far as being in the building, there's so many issues that we need to address before we could ever have the public back in here.
Right, right,
And, we're working on that. But
right.
right now, I'm just trying to get up to service with the curbside. And once we have that going smoothly, then we'll start thinking, when can we possibly have everything ready? This is just and once we have a good protocol, I think we'll be okay. But I have no idea when. It could be months.
Marlboro
There's
is
libraries that are not going to be ready to even do curbside for months. So, it's kind of all over depending on your community and what kind of special needs they might have.
Yeah, I was surprised. Marlboro is open for curbside.
Curbside, yeah.
And
I think
Marlboro,
Hudson was
the
supposed to
numbers
be
were way higher than ours, obviously. They're bigger than we are.
much bigger, yeah.
for
So
curbside.
Bolton's, is about 5,000. So they're a lot closer to us, but they've already got their plexiglass all set up and everything. So they're not going to open the building yet, but they're ahead of us.
Right, right. I will tell you, I had a contact from a patron. They were eager even for the curbside and the returns.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
so when drop it.
The patrons can call. I'd be happy to answer their questions. And if
Yeah.
it's something I can do for them, I'll do it.
Yes.
But like I mentioned, we're just trying to deal with the books that were here
Right.
first.
Right.
And
Understood.
so we have been doing some curbside. It's just we don't want to make it official until we have everything ready. But where we can do it, we'll do it. I'm still waiting for the paper bags. I ordered them, and for some reason, there was a run on paper bags. I might just go up to BJ's or something and grab them because we're going to need them.
Okay.
So
Good enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay. New business. Virtual Libraries Legislative Day, which now seems like an eon ago. I did go.
Yeah, I didn't make it, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah, so there were several people who presented. I'm doing this off of memory now. I probably have notes someplace. And then I believe I either emailed or called the legislators, asking them to support, a decent budget for the libraries, but it's a lot harder for obviously all the reasons that you know. So I'm sure they had priorities. Can I remember what they were? Let's see if I have something. 0513. Can't pop it up right now. So if there's anything critical that I find, I will let you know. But yeah, advocacy is going to continue to be really important. If there's, make sure you are getting emails from the library trustees lists, because they will, they don't send you a ton of email, but they will let you know if there's an important and urgent advocacy that needs to be done. And the budget is about as urgent as anything I can think of. I could take questions, but I'm not sure I can answer them right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't, I did see some sort of wrap-up thing, but I can't really think what was the main pressing concern.
Yeah, I believe they were, in addition to the budget. So yeah, I mean, they had a budget line. They did not change their ask. That I remember.
Right,
So the ask is what it was before everything shut down.
right.
And I believe similarly, they were also asking for advocacy for the library construction bond.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, we can always check with Naughton's and Trans offices and see if they have any updates.
Right.
I don't think I've seen anything recent come across from MBLC or any of those folks. So, okay. Next item. Okay, Bob mentioned the garden tour is happening. I'm planning to go. I have never gone on one.
I think it's 5 gardens.
Yep, 5 gardens,
And,
$50 in advance. I've got my form.
I guess it's from 10 to 3 in the afternoon.
Yep.
Yeah, so you can sort of, you can sort of time it if the weather, isn't good. Hopefully at least part of the day would be good. So,
Did they set a rain date?
no.
Okay.
So they're just hoping that it being June and having a wide range of time for people to go and visit that everything's going to turn out well. So I think, I mean, if it's raining, it's raining, but, unless we have some big storm or something, then I don't think it will be called off.
Right, and you pick up, so you send in for your tickets, or I think you can do it online maybe, and you
Yeah.
pick the guide
This is
book
what the
19 party.
this is what the booklet looks like. I don't know if you can see it there.
Yeah,
Not
just
too
a
well.
blank.
Not too well.
Yeah.
How about now?
That's better.
Yeah.
A little better?
That's better, yes.
Yeah, it's nice. And they're going to have some sandwiches available.
Actually,
No,
that's
they
not true.
Well,
suggesting,
it's from the general store. Yeah.
yeah, they're suggesting that you stop, if you stop for lunch, you stop at the general store.
Oh, that's what it
So
is.
it's just a little promo on the back there.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's
Give
good.
people an idea of what they
I've been
have.
eating there almost every day, actually, myself.
Us
Yeah.
too.
Not that we have a lot of options, right, Lynette?
No, but there's plenty of options down there.
Exactly.
They suggest you call ahead so they can have it ready for you.
Yeah, that's what I usually do. In fact, they
Right.
know it's me, and they know they know that's like, as soon as I open my mouth, they go, yeah, okay. I
Great.
can throw them a curveball every now and then.
Good. You don't want them to get complacent. ADA accessibility site visit have you heard anything about a report, Bob?
I haven't heard anything further. I believe, they file a report with the town, and I should get copied on that. But I will ask Margaret about that. I
Okay.
don't think it was, not much of a priority at the moment.
Okay. Yeah. No, I was just thinking if you had gotten it.
Yeah, I hadn't gotten anything, not yet, no.
Okay. So the next thing, you all should have gotten my forward for the MVP training that was canceled because of COVID. That's now been rescheduled as 3 little meetings online.
What was that again?
The MVP,
MVP.
it's the vulnerability stuff,
Right.
the stuff that we should have had before this all happened.
Yeah.
Experience is what you get 5 minutes after you need it.
I think the town is also has available some training regarding, processes dealing with the COVID.
Right, but this is sort of a broader thing, and it
Yes,
sounds like a
yeah.
really good opportunity.
Mhm.
Doesn't seem like it makes sense for me to go because I'm outgoing. So, Lynette,
I
did you?
believe I responded to Mary on it.
You did, and I'm going to send out a push this afternoon clarifying that they, in a perfect world, they want people to attend all 3 of those sessions, but those sessions are only 3:30 to 5:30. So it's 3 different days, but 2 hours. So I'm about to send that out because that wasn't clear before to people.
Oh, okay.
They're
Good.
asking for not to avoid quorums of boards if possible. So if Jean already RSVP'd, unless Lynette has a real strong passion, you guys can fight it out. Goodbye.
No,
Thank you,
it,
Mary. I keep forgetting that you're there somewhere.
Yes.
Only sometimes am I here.
So Lynette, was that something? First of all, did you see it, and were you interested?
I was hesitant to RSVP just because I will have a house full of children and my husband won't be home from work when it starts.
Okay.
So and to avoid a quorum, if Jean can go and take notes, that's great. Because I'm interested in what it is, but it would be pretty difficult, I think, for me on Zoom, especially that's kind of, the end of the day where the kids are getting nuts and dinner.
I've been involved in it. If I could just say that after those 3 workshops where they kind of brainstorm collectively and have a bunch of breakout groups, there is a community-wide intake information. So you can look at the preliminary findings and everyone can read those group think findings and still give input.
Great.
Okay. Are the 3 little ones, are they going to be recorded? Is it something that I could watch later?
The 3 little ones won't be recorded. The big ones open to the public will be recorded, will be available on tape afterwards for viewing if you missed it.
Okay. So just take good notes, Jean.
Gotcha.
Great. Thank you. All right. Bummer. I would have enjoyed attending, but it wouldn't have done the library much good. So, virtual trustee orientations. Were either of you able to attend? Lynette, were you able to go?
No, I had death in the family.
Yes. Jean, were you able to go?
Yeah, no, I wasn't able to do it.
Okay.
I did let Lindy H know that that was something that was available. And,
Yes.
yeah.
I think I saw an email go across that there was one more coming. I still strongly urge both of you and Linda, hopefully when she comes on board, to do it. There is nothing like having somebody walk you through what's important and, people of different sort of amounts of experience talk about it. Sorry, my battery was dying. So yes, so I couldn't go to an orientation for like the first year that I was serving. So I assure you, it's still well worth it, even if you've been serving for a while.
Did you get a new email from Maura? Because those dates were all in May in the original email that you forwarded.
I didn't pay close attention because I was sort of thinking, oh, well, you've all done that. I don't know if I can come up with it real fast. Orientation. But yeah, I mean, virtual trustee orientations. The final one is June 17th. I got that email on June 5th from Maura Didi.
Can you forward that to me?
Sure. Again, if you are not on the trustees announce list,
I've emailed her twice.
Yeah, I don't know what the problem is,
And
but
she responds. She's like,
Yeah.
I'll get you on there.
I may have had trouble too at first for whatever reason. I don't remember. But yeah, so I'm sending this now. Okay, so see if you can make that one. Okay. Recruiting write-in trustee candidate. Woohoo!
Yeah. Did I send her resume to you guys? I thought that I did.
I am not sure.
Okay. So she provided a resume just so that you would know a little bit about her.
Yeah, I
If
don't remember seeing that.
Okay. Let me send it to you.
Great.
I'll do it right now if I can find it. Yeah.
Great. So, yes, so Linda said she wanted to run. Bob, you've probably been communicating with her. I mean, I think,
Yes, she's been a member of the
Yeah.
Library Friends group for about a year, and she's done some volunteer work with Sarah in the children's library. She's done story time a few times, and I should have really thought of her sooner. I just happened to see her and her husband on a walk, and they're both regular patrons.
Mhm.
So she was a little, hesitant. So I didn't give her too much of a lowdown on everything that the library is dealing with, but I think she'll be very good. And so I'm definitely encouraged. It's definitely, it's nice to get someone and, have this person in a position where their life is, they have enough free time to devote time to it. And she has good, a lot of skills that she's going to bring to it as well. So, so hopefully, and I will send you her resume, so just so you can see what her history is.
Great, great. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to email her, but I have been promoting her candidacy on Facebook, and
Excellent.
in my up here on the Hill, I asked people to write her in, and I gave the information. Eloise, I spoke to Eloise. Eloise assures me that even if you just put in her name, Linda Yates,
Right.
there's only one Yates in town. So,
Okay. Yeah,
I mean,
and she
you should give her street address too. Which is
she exchanged a few emails with Eloise, and I was copied on those. So I'm confident that yeah, she's fine to be a writing candidate.
Yes. So, strictly speaking, she only needs 5 votes to win.
Right.
I've already voted for her. Am I supposed to say
okay.
that? I don't know.
All right.
So I definitely did, email people here up on the Hill and ask, if they hadn't yet voted to write her in, and gave the information. So, and, you can also share that on Facebook. It would be lovely to get her more than 5 votes.
Yeah. I'm not sure if she herself is on Facebook. I'll have to ask her.
Yeah, I did not pop her up. I think I tried searching for her, so she may not be.
Yeah.
So yeah. So this is very good news. And it is just a better thing to go through, get people elected rather than go through the appointment process, I think.
I sent you something that should have her email attached to it.
Yeah, and I
Her
think I had
resume.
previously. I just haven't.
No, I don't. It looks like I didn't send it. So sorry.
Okay. So when is our next meeting? I'm assuming it's still the second Tuesday. And all right, let me just check. July 14th. Yes, I have that on my calendar. Bastille Day.
Should I book you a Zoom meeting? Because we're probably still going to be Zooming in July.
Yeah.
That would be good. Thank you.
I'll do that now.
Excellent. Yeah, so I am anticipating that will be my last meeting. You know, and I will either still be a trustee or, you know, if she is already sworn in, then I'll be a guest. So, yeah, so people should let me know what, you know, what you'd like to put on the July
Agenda.
meeting agenda. And one of those things, as you may remember from last year, is you will be electing a new chair and electing a clerk. So think about that.
Yes.
Is there anything else sort of related to this transition that anybody wants to mention?
And Bob, in talking to her, did you talk to her more, like just about trustee in general? Did you mention anything about, like, specifically the chair position, or?
Yeah, the chair is usually, it should be one of you just because you have the seniority in the position, and she'll just be, you know, getting up to speed. So I talked to her only just in general. I didn't even get into too much of the library situation and all the, I think she'll glean some things from the agenda. That'll probably be enough for now. And then we'll, once we have her in, we can, you know, see where, you know, see how it all moves forward.
Right.
So,
And the good thing is that while we are still Zooming, you know, she can be in Maine and attend the meeting and it'll be fine.
right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, she does have some commitments in June where her and her husband go away. I didn't see that as too much of a stumbling block for her candidacy because sometimes we even take a month off in the summer, you know, as far as our meeting.
not
But
that that happened last year.
did it happen last year? I can't remember.
We ended up meeting more in the summer than
Yeah,
we normally do.
I think we just had a lot. We just had a lot going on with
Yeah,
the
it was still
septic and
septic.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I told her, she asked about additional commitments, and I said, yes, there are some. And usually the chairperson would be the person if one person was going to go. But yeah, so it's possible she may not be available for a few meetings in the summer, but I didn't think that was a big stumbling block. Hopefully it won't be.
Well, quorum is important.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
people should keep that in mind. So
And
yeah.
if she can Zoom, like you said, then maybe, yeah, maybe that would be the best option.
Yeah. Another thing is to, you know, it's an opportunity for you to review how you schedule, like what the schedule of meetings is.
Right.
And I think that's the main things for now. So, and my thing is, I don't know if we're going to do a septic system groundbreaking, but if there is one, I want to know about it. I want to be
Okay.
there.
All right.
Will do. I do have one other question. In terms of
Mhm.
chair, is there any specific duties other than like creating the agenda? Is there more? Like,
Well, you would run the meeting,
you moderate the meeting and
moderate the meeting.
create the
And
agenda.
if you know, there was a meeting, you know, say for the septic or on a special article, or just for any reason, you would be the best person to go, but you don't have to be the only person, you know, somebody else can go as well. But that's all I can think of. You basically, you'd be running the meeting, and you'd be, you know, kind of setting the agenda really going forward for things based on whatever is we're dealing with. So,
Right.
and I think, you know, you've been here long enough now, so you know what all the issues are. You know, we have a lot going on, so we're just trying to deal with what's the most immediate thing, but we also got to keep our eye on the future as well. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
if I could add to that, I believe the trustee guide
Yes,
lays out what the duties of the
the
chair are.
chairman. It does, yeah.
And I'll see if there's anything else I have in my email about that. I believe one of the sort of jobs of the chair is to be a spokesperson for the trustees. But again, I think that's somewhat flexible. But I think the chair is the default spokesperson.
Yes.
You know, so correspondence, you know, or whatever. But again, you know, we tend to sort of share out things, you know, divide up responsibilities and contact,
Right.
things like that.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's necessarily critical.
The chairperson gets to sign everything too.
Right. I sign payroll.
You sign payroll, yes.
That's big.
So we should probably try to deal with that at the next meeting. Having it, well, I guess we'll have to have a chairman elected first, so. Anyway,
Yes. Yes.
yeah, that should definitely be on our horizon.
Great. Okay. Is there anything else since we are on time? We are more than on time.
I have one other question
Okay?
about just trustees in general. Are there limits on terms? Like,
No, I don't think,
have another year, but
there are any limits on terms now.
okay.
I don't know.
No,
I know in Clinton, oh, there isn't, right? Yeah.
I know. I think the cultural council has some staggered. You have to have a cooling off period before you can continue forward. I don't think that's true for library trustees. It's elected.
Yeah. Not that I'm aware of. There's no limit.
I just can't believe how fast this first year has gone by.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I've been here 7 years, and that seems like it went by so fast.
Time flies when you're having fun as a library trustee.
And I've had about 17 different trustees as well.
Wow.
No,
Yeah.
not that many. It just seems like that's that many.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've had
No, Judy served 2 terms.
that's right.
Judy
right.
Lockhart Tate served 2 terms or 6 years.
She did. And Mark Smith served a couple of terms as well.
Right.
He was one of my originals. I call him one of the originals because he had the good sense to hire me.
Yes.
The jury's still out on that.
No, it was a good choice. It was a good choice.
So far, so good.
Yes. He hasn't burned the building down. That's already.
Yeah. Got a new roof.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would be running for another term, except that I am running for state representative, and
Right.
I feel like, you know, library trustees deserve somebody who's focused on that. So yeah, I actually agree that these 3 years feel like they have gone by very quickly. I've learned a lot. I've borrowed a lot of books. And I am really missing the book and bake sale, because that is one of my favorite things that the friends
I'm
do.
really hoping we can do that later in the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a fall one or something. That'd be really nice.
Or even holiday, like in December, like when we usually do Christmas in Berlin.
Yeah,
Something.
yeah,
We
yeah.
can tie it into that.
Yes,
Something.
We'll get there again.
we will. In the meantime, you know, I hope you all have stylish face masks. I now have 2 to my name.
We actually got some for the library. So we have a box, and we have a box of gloves as well. The gloves, I think we're going to need to buy a lot of. The masks are just for people who might turn up at the library that don't have one.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're going to, and it actually was suggested that we keep a log of people that are coming in and out of the building. So right now it's just the staff and the custodian and the whitewater guy who tests the water, and that's about it. But, just for the contact tracing, they would like to
Right,
know
right.
who's coming in and out. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, face mask.
Yeah, yeah. Good to keep in mind. Yeah, so great. So I think we have covered it all. So it is now 6:50. Charlene DeCalagero, move to adjourn this meeting. Jean, can I get a second?
I second.
Jean seconds. Okay, all in favor of adjourning the library trustees meeting of June 9th? Say yes. Charlene DeCalagero, yes. Jean Mitchell?
Yes.
Lynette Wheeler?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thanks so much, everybody.
Yes, thank you.
Good work.